Shall I do something again?
Just anything. Guten Tag, it's Rich from Hughes and Kettner with
Joss Allen.
Yay, we're at TGU 2019 in
Germany.
In Germany.
In Bamberg.
No,
No.
Bamberg is the nearest city.
Oh.
We're in Treppendorf.
Treppendorf.
We're in Treppendorf,
Yeah.
Germany, for TGU 2019, and we have some pedals on the floor in front of us here. Lots of you ask us what pedals sound like with Hughes and Kettner amps. We do get many, many questions indeed.
Do we?
Well, you don't.
I
You
don't.
Work for
Do
Hughes
you?
and Kettner, but we do. And what we would want to do today is answer that question for a specific brand of pedals that is Revv.
Revv amplification.
Yes, who also make pedals.
Yes.
And we have on the floor in front of us the G2, the G3 and the G4.
Yes.
All of which you know and love and use in your rig, I believe.
Yes.
Yep.
So when I'm using, well, the G2 I recently got over this week of being here.
It's brand new, right?
Brand new.
We're shooting this in June 2019, so...
Yeah, so I got that. Derek from Revv guys was kind enough to give me the G2 for Guitar Bros demos. And he'd previously given me the G3 and G4 at the NAMM show for Guitar Bros stuff.
Yeah.
So we've done a bunch of videos using the 3 and 4 because they're probably the best, personally to me, the best high gain pedals out there at the moment.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried the G2 yet, and as you can assume, G3, G4 and G2 are all channel 2, 3 and 4 off of the G amps, the Revv amps that they have.
So how are they differently voiced?
So
it goes up in terms
yeah,
of
so
gain,
as you
or-
would assume, changing channels. So you've got the green, which is like a lower gain, the purple, which is like obviously whatever channel 3 is, and then channel 4, which is their most aggressive channel.
Yeah.
The Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit is running just like a basic clean tone.
Super neutral clean sound, yeah.
If I hit it hard, it starts to drive a bit.
Yeah.
Only for the reason that obviously I'm using humbuckers, so it's
Yeah.
quite a pokey sounding guitar
Okay.
anyway.
And these G2, G3 and G4 pedals are intended for use, I take it, with clean amps.
Yeah. So you either use them on clean amps or you use them as preamps straight into the effects loop.
Yes, you do.
So you can do that as well, which I've done with like a Seymour Duncan power amp, or in the videos I've done, I used my tri-amp and then ran them into the effects loops with the tri-amp, and in the front end of the clean channel as well, just to show what the pedals can achieve going through. I mean, Hughes and Kettner's clean is insanely good anyway, so running it through such a clinical sort of perfectly clean bass, especially on the tri-amp. It's super sparkly. Running these pedals through there, it's just, and that high wattage level as well that you get from the tri-amp. It allows for these pedals to really, So the higher wattage amplifier, the better as well, really, for like any sort of preamp style high gain pedals.
Sure.
But yeah, so that's what they are.
All right, so let's hear them then. Let's start with the G2.
Yeah, so everything is set to 12 o'clock on the G2. The switch is off. They've got like three sort of stages. So they've got off, blue, and drive. Off, blue, and red, sorry. And that basically is like your drive setting, and then on the other two, because they're full-on drives, they've got like their aggression switches.
Okay.
So this is the switch off. This is just straight up Les Paul into the G2 into a clean channel.
So it's like a super thick classic rock crunch territory.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
This is my first time trying that anyway. So.
And what would the guys at Revv say that the G2 channel or pedal is most suited to? What kind of music?
I would say that sort of thing, just like the classic rock sort of vibes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can dial the gains at 12. If I dial it off, so it's just a quarter of the way up.
Yeah.
Neck pickup. Very dynamic sounding.
Yeah.
But the one thing is that we are taking it from that beautiful clean sound anyway.
Yeah.
But having it at 12, if I dip it just so it's like, you know, nearly all the way up, you get... doesn't necessarily have more gain, it just gets thicker.
Yeah, and it's not muffled or woolly or anything
exactly,
like that.
And I'm playing a Les Paul, which can get muffled and woolly if you're not careful.
Rather like a mammoth.
Exactly,
yeah.
A mammoth Les Paul. Yeah, really, really cool sounding pedal.
Very nice indeed.
But the one thing you have to take into consideration is just that, you know, pedals can sound amazing, but at the same time, if you ever play it through like a 112 speaker, anything, you're never like, oh, that sounds great, or that sounds big or anything. Difference with having that creamback in the Hughes and Kettner is that it sounds massive.
Yeah.
For a little combo, it sounds huge.
Yeah, well, it's to do with the creamback and also to do with the teal small format of the cabinet itself.
Okay.
That's actually the goal behind building it in this format, was to get the biggest sounding 1x12 that we could get.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, you've definitely achieved that, just even with the clean sound. That's a big clean sound.
Yeah.
Just have to check to see if it's peaking, actually. That's really big. So yeah, the G2 is definitely gonna really be beautiful. I think a great pedal for like strats and tellies and getting that super extreme Stevie Ray Vaughan sort of vibe.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that was the G2.
Yeah.
The G3 is like, it's pretty much, I would say it's become sort of a modern classic. I mean,
already
it's been all over YouTube. Mm-hmm. It's only a year or two old.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know what they've done, but it's definitely my favourite high gain pedal I've ever tried.
Yeah. Why?
Literally because it sounds like an amplifier.
Yeah.
It sounds, as soon as you have, say for example you had the Pure Tone, right? And you have all of that huge headroom but it doesn't drive.
Yeah.
You stick a Revv G3 in front of it and you're absolutely giggling.
Yeah.
So if you have that... It's unbelievable.
Big difference.
Like how much gain, how much. Yeah. Like, and that's with the gain at 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock. Are those your preferred EQ settings down there, or is
Well,
that
this
just
is
what was on the pedal?
No, this is vibing into that amplifier.
Yeah.
Because they sound drastically different depending on what you go into.
Yeah, sure.
So as soon as I put them in, it was just a matter of just having a... That was what surprised me about the G2. Just everything on 12 sounded good to me.
Yeah.
You know.
And you've got the red mode engaged here on the G3. Is that
the
the
aggression.
most aggressive one?
Yeah. So
right.
This is the blue here.
Yeah.
Bottom end is a little bit more muffled.
Yeah.
Tightens up the bottom end. Yeah, so it's like the best sort of high gain rhythm lead pedal I've ever played, really.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the G3. There is far more gain on tap with that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we're only halfway up, but if I just dime it. Start to lose a little bit of the clarity. clarity.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But that 12 o'clock point, there's more than enough. Loads.
Can you back the gain off with the G3? Does it work?
Yeah. Not massively amounts. So it does. The only thing is you do get a little bit of the hiss in the background.
Yeah.
But what you can do is noise gate the crap out of it.
Yeah, there you go. But what I was going to say is people are not buying a G3 for low gain sounds, are they?
No, not really? The G3, no.
Yeah.
And then you move on to the G4, which is basically like what Derek was telling me was like their lead channel.
Derek is
one of the co-owners of Revv, and he's here today.
Yep.
So he lent us the board to use for this video to plug into the Hughes in Kettner.
Yep.
So the G4 is their high gain one. Once again, the aggression switch is on red. I just like that tighter sort of bottom end section to it.
Yep.
There's an insane amount of drive on this vinyl. I mean, I have to crank the mids a bit for myself, my own personal sort of enjoyment, just because it automatically has that slightly mid-scooped tonality to it.
Yeah.
Chains for you there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's not my favourite out of the bunch because that whole mid-scoop tonality is not my vibe at all.
Yeah.
But it just shows you that you can go from, you know, just having that right there, if you're like a touring musician, you just throw that in the effects loop of an amplifier, or you're like, you have, which I explained in my video, you have this, and then you have a Black Spirit, and then you either go into the front end of the clean channel or you go into the effects loop.
Yeah.
You've got like a full metal touring rig there.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
So you've got like a 200 watt power amp that the Black Spirit has.
Yeah.
And then you use these as your preamp, or you just throw it in the front end and use, say, like the clean channel from the Black Spirit and use these as your gain channel.
Yeah.
So there's a multitude of different things that you can use, you know, either the Black Spirit with these or just these or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. One question that I've been seeing a lot on YouTube is people saying G3 or G4, which one should I get? What's best for what kind of music?
Yeah.
Now the G2's also there, so like if someone's watching this, having never tried a Revv before and they want, let's say, a pedal that can do the most versatile amounts of different gains, what would you recommend?
For me, it seems like the G2 might be the best option.
Yeah.
Because having that, but I don't know how much... Okay, so the drive still is like, it's a classic drive.
Yeah.
But it's that's full on the red gain wise.
So that's the most aggressive.
That's the most
sound
aggressive
that
you'll get
G2
from it.
can do. Yeah.
So I'd say the G3 is probably the most, because it's middle ground.
That's like the middle ground of the three of them.
You can back the gain right off, put it to blue, back the gain off. But it's what about off? Yeah, okay, so off, right? It's reminiscent of the G2.
Yeah, slightly more modern.
Exactly,
voicing,
yeah. And then you go red, full gain.
Yeah.
Kind of dip the mids off, maybe.
Yeah.
You're almost, the G4.
Almost in the G4, I was going to say, yeah.
So I'd say that the G3 covers most ground, but at the same time, you're not going to buy the G3 or G4 if you don't want really high gain distortion.
No, exactly, yeah.
So if you want like a smoother, personally, if you want like a smoother, more sort of all-round distortion pedal, go for the G3.
Yeah.
If you want like balls to the wall, aggression, mid-scooped metal, go for the G4.
Yeah.
And if you want something that's really smooth, slightly more vintage voiced, but has a lot of gain on tap if you want to use it, then that's the G2. I'm excited to use, because I've got the one now, I'm excited to stick it on a pedal board and use that, the G2, as my highest gain pedal with like my Telly or my Strat or something.
Yeah.
Or if I'm using humbuckers. And then I've got my other pedals that I use on my pedal board for like my more classic vibes anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All
awesome.
Good.
So there you go. That's a quick rundown of the 3 Revv pedals, the G2, the G3 and the G4. I think there's a whole lot more they can watch on your channel, isn't there? On the Guitar Bros channel.
Yeah, we got some Revv stuff on there with the Hughes and Kettner amps as well. So
yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing how the Black Spirit 200 combo handled these pedals. I think it did a pretty exceptional job. But, I'm paid to say that. Hopefully you're going to do a big detailed demo on the G2 pedal as well on your channel that guys can check out.
Yeah, geil older.
And if you folks are interested in hearing any more different pedals run through H&K amps, ask us in the comments. We'll try and get them in. We'll do some tests just so you can find out, and we can help you try before you buy, if you wish. So there you go. Just at Guitar Bros. I've been Rich at H&K, and we shall see you in the next video. Tschüss.
Bitter, baby.
Geil, Alter.
Super klasse, Jungs.
Try before you buy, Alter. Wie geil ist das denn?